Now, when it comes to selling online, the biggest mistake I see people making is they choose the wrong funnel at the wrong time. Now, in terms of what the best funnel is, well, I want you to remove that mindset straight away. There's no such thing as a best funnel. It's simply about you choosing what funnel is best for you at what time. Now, the way to explain what happens when you do actually get, or choose, shall I say, the wrong funnel is we can imagine that your business is this spaceship right here, okay? These water droplets, we'll say that these are leads. Now, as our rocket keeps going higher and higher, this leak that we have in our funnel is causing us to lose out on cash. Now again, the rocket is the funnel, right? So even if that we think that funnel's working and it's still taking us to the moon over here, we've not realized that on the way, we've been dropping all of these leads. And that's why I say there's no such thing as a best funnel, right? Because you might be running your VSL call booking funnel, and it's taking you all the way up to here, but if you would have been running that whole time a webinar funnel, then all these leaked leads wouldn't have happened. And your trajectory would have been a little bit more like this instead of like this. The way I see it is you've got 6 main types of funnels. First of all, we'll have the VSL call. You've got the organic DM. Then you've got the webinar, group / community funnel, newsletter / email list, acquisition funnel, or as some people know it, the low ticket funnel. Now, how do you determine with all of these options which one is actually going to be best for you? There's 4 main things that you have to consider. Number 1, the most important one is, let's just stretch this out, is going to be your organic reach. Number 2 is going to be your ad spend. Number 3 is going to be your time. And number 4 is going to be your knowledge / skill. Now, first of all, if you're watching this video, I imagine it is because you're looking to launch a product online, or maybe you're already selling one and you're looking to optimize it further. If that is the case, book a call down below. We scale high ticket offers. We've worked with multiple offers. Myself, I've sold well in excess of 7 figures on high ticket offers, as so has my business partner, Marco. So book a call if you are interested in that. If you have, using this key here, if you have low organic reach and low ad spend, you're going to do the organic DM. Now, the reason why is because organic is the building block, okay? You don't have any ad spend to run ads, and you don't have any organic yet. So the only way you can get leads is literally by posting organic content. Now, organic DM simply is just using reels and stories to post organic content with a CTA, getting someone to comment something. That comment then sets off an automation, delivering them a lead magnet or answering a question in a particular way that strikes up a conversation. You qualify that person, book him in for an appointment, and then you close him in the DMs. Very simple, and that is going to be the very first funnel that you're going to do if you're brand new, you have no organic reach yet, and you have no ad spend. Now, let's say, because ideally you should have a little bit of ad spend, because if you're selling a course, then you should have been able to make money on the thing or the skill that you're selling. So you should have a tiny bit of money saved, hopefully. Even if you've got a couple of grand, that's going to give you enough. The reason why we use this funnel, if we've only got a medium-sized ad budget, is because we need to maximize the amount of ad spend that we're putting in. So we can do that by having call bookings, so then we can speak to every single lead that we come across. Now, next up, we've got the acquisition / low ticket funnel. Let's go to this one of my favorite ones. Now, this funnel right here, you're only actually going to do this one if you've got a large ad spend. Forget time, forget knowledge and skill, forget organic reach. This one just comes down to your ad spend. How this works, right, is you're going to run ads to a page where you've selling a low ticket product. Now, the goal of this is to get your average order value to as close to £100 or $100 per order. And if you do that, chances are you've acquired the lead for less than $100, which means you're now running a free marketing system. And I say that because the whole goal of selling the low ticket product is to upsell that lead to the high ticket program. here we go. Spending 2K on a low ticket product campaign, making that 2K back from those low ticket products, upselling those customers to your high ticket program, collecting 5 to 6 figures in cash from a campaign that costs you $0 and 0 time, because we did it for you. So that literally creates an infinite loop and is, what the fuck? That's hilarious. Marco must have made that. And that's why the acquisition funnel is so good. But the reason why I say I have a high ad spend is because if you get this wrong, it's very easy to blow your budget, right? So again, you want to have a high ad spend, and this one's good if you've got very little time, because you're only going to be trying to speak to the people who have actually bought your product, which again is going to be, I don't know, 10 to 100, for example. Very easy to do. Okay, next up, we are going to go for the group funnel. Now, the group funnel, you're going to do this funnel. Again, organic and ad spend is kind of irrelevant if you have time and if you have knowledge and skill. The reason why I say this is because running a group requires time. And if you don't put time in, your group's going to be bad because the people inside aren't nurtured. That means they're never going to buy the high ticket offer. Again, I'm presuming we're talking about free group here or low ticket group. So yeah, you need to actually put the time into the group to make the members feel nurtured. If they don't, they're never going to buy again and they're just going to churn after 1 month. And you actually need knowledge and skill, because most likely you're going to be jumping on like webinar calls with these guys. You're going to get found out very quick, right? Doing organic content and waffling like a guru for 10, 20 seconds is very easy. A webinar for an hour when you're getting asked questions by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people, you're going to get found out. So again, next we will move on to the newsletter. Now, what I say for the newsletter, right, is of course you can start capturing data from the beginning and really running up your newsletter. And again, if you're running the organic DM funnel, you are going to be capturing that data anyway. But in terms of like your sole focus, the main thing you push being a newsletter or email list, I only advise this if you've got a really, really high organic reach. The reason why I say that is because it's just a pure numbers game. Obviously, quality does matter when it comes down to the emails, right? That's what's gonna, good subject lines get them to open, good copy with a good CTA is what's gonna get them to convert. But again, it is a numbers game, right? You do want a pretty big email list. Again, you don't want to be really spending too much ad spend to build your email list. Again, you can run ads to a lead magnet. I'm not saying you can't do that, but if you're watching this video, you kind of, I imagine, in like a sort of newbie phase. You don't want to spending your ad spend growing your email list if you're just starting out. So last but not least, we have got the webinar. So when would you run the webinar? Well, it's going to be when you've got high organic reach. Ad spend is irrelevant. It just helps having ad spend, but you don't need it. When you've got little time and when you've got a lot of knowledge and skill. The reason being is because for someone to sit through a 50-minute webinar, an hour webinar, they really need to buy into you. So if you've got a big organic following, chances are you've got a lot of authority. So then those people are invested in you. So they are willing to sit through an hour-long webinar. In terms of ad spend, the reason why I say it's irrelevant is because if you've got a big enough following, you can pack out your webinar, but you can run ads to a webinar, but just make sure that you're not just burning your ad spend, because if you were to run those ads on, let's say, TikTok, for example, the type of people on TikTok like 5 to 10 second content, not hour-long content. So probably YouTube's going to be your best bet. In terms of time, the reason why I say if you've got little time, a webinar is great, is because unlike a VSL call booking funnel, right? Let's say you get 20 leads or 20 calls booked, you've got to speak to all those 20 people. It might take half an hour per person. That's 10 hours of time. Whereas on a webinar, you could use 1 hour of time and maybe speak to 500 people. And then imagine how long compared with a VSL call booking funnel it would take to speak to those 500 people. Now, in terms of my opinion, right, if I had to only choose one of these, it would either be the group funnel or the webinar funnel. The reason why I say the group funnel is because, especially with the introduction of school, the barrier to entry has just dropped down so much. Like actually being able to run a good sort of community is fairly easy now, thanks to school. It doesn't require too much work compared to, let's say, like having to create like a really good Discord community, for example. And even like a group doesn't even have to be as much as like a school community. It could just be a Telegram you send voice notes in, or like an Instagram broadcast channel, for example. So again, I really do like groups because it just allows you to speak to a bunch of people. It's a good way where you can just have like a middle of funnel nurture that's completely free of charge and is super low resistance for people to sign up to. And then again, the reason why I really like the webinars a lot And again, this has been something we've been implementing recently into people's funnel compared to where we've been doing these for a lot longer, is the leverage that webinars give you. Like I said, getting 500 people on a webinar is way more efficient than booking 500 calls in. And I just can't believe that is the case. So yeah, webinar funnels and the group funnels are my two favorite. So yeah, that's essentially it, guys, when it comes to actually choosing the right sort of funnel for your business. It's a very simple process. You just need to understand the 4 criteria here. And again, most of you are going to start off with the organic DM, and as you scale, you're going to need to start adding one of these in and sort of just understand where you're at using these 4 things, and then pick the right funnel for you accordingly. And that's going to lead you to success, so you don't have a rocket ship that's constantly leaking leads. But guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Zidane over and out. Peace.